Kia ora koutou. This video is about how to start singing. To give you some context, it's Christmas 2025. So this video is about how to start singing in 2026. Now, if you're anything like me, you've probably began to think about your New Year's list, and maybe one of those things is, I really want to start singing, but I don't know how. So today's video is based on my experience in music, and to give you a little bit of background, because some of the things I'm going to say are a little bit odd, or they may seem odd, but to give you a little bit of background, I've been involved in music for 50 years. I first started music when I was 5 years old, and I've been a student. I've been a professional singer for a few decades. I've branched out and I went and got a law degree and became an arts administrator for a little while in local government, but I never stopped singing. And during the pandemic, I thought, what next? I decided I wanted to be a singing teacher, and I've been a singing teacher now for 4 years in Christchurch, New Zealand. So I'm just giving you that background just so that you know that some of the things that I say will seem odd, but they're things that have come up in my experience. Now, my advice to you about how to start singing in 2026, I think the number one thing to do is to start singing. Now, I said my advice was going to be a little bit odd, and I know it seems obvious, but it's incredible how many people come to me for singing lessons, and then I ask them, what do you like singing? And they're blank. They actually sometimes say to me, I don't sing. So they really are coming to me because they just don't know how to start in the first place. Now, I actually think that you can start singing without spending a cent. What I would advise you to do is to turn on the radio, turn on a YouTube channel, perhaps even go to one of your streaming services. Choose a song. Find a space where you're alone so that you don't feel like someone's judging you, and actually sing along to the song. And I would say do this for a while, however long you like actually. Maybe that's what you do for 2026. You turn on the radio and once a week you sing a song. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's fun and it's a creative outlet. And again, like I say, it doesn't cost you a cent, but it's a tick on the New Year's list. Let's say you've started singing to the streaming services, but you think, well, I'd like to actually learn a technique. There are multitudes of how to sing channels on YouTube. There are courses that you can sign up for online. There are library books. What, though, I would advise you to do is grab your iPad, download a piano app, and attempt a scale. This is what I've done in this video. So let's have a little listen to that video. Let's say you want to sing a scale, but you don't own an instrument or can't read music. Try downloading a piano app to your iPad. Normally the apps have the keys labelled. Today we're going to do a C major scale, which is all the white keys. This is your reference point. You play the note, and you try to sing your note as closely as possible to that. I'm going to use the vowel E, as in the word see. E's a great vowel for beginners. E, 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 E. The iPad becomes your reference point. So that's another idea. Again, it doesn't cost a cent. It's something that you can do very easily by just grabbing an app, having a go. Now, what also is useful about that exercise is that it will soon become clear to you, do I really want to learn singing? Because I think singing and learning singing are different things. Learning singing will mean that you will be taught scales by your singing teacher. You will be taught exercises, and there will be homework to do. Now, that might not be what you want. So by doing this little exercise for a week or two, maybe that's just enough for you to say, hey, look, tick off the New Year's list. I did actually learn something about singing in 2026. Now, let's say you enjoy singing along to the radio. You enjoy singing a scale or two. The next stage, I would say, is to find a singing teacher in your local area. I think probably the first thing you do is to Google. Now, here's another piece of advice which seems so basic, it's almost silly, but I would, if I was you, look at your singing teacher's work on platforms like YouTube. Maybe there's a concert that they've uploaded to YouTube and you can actually hear them sing. In a way, it's you auditioning the singing teacher. It's you actually having a think, is this the type of sound that I want? Now, just a caveat on that one. Some singing teachers can actually cross genre, but they specialise in one genre. In a way, I'm actually a little like that, or should I say mostly like that. I'm a classical singer, but I do cross genre from time to time. So I do write my own music, which is contemporary. Occasionally I do sing a contemporary song. I love contemporary music and I love teaching contemporary music. So, I say there's a caveat that if you were to Google me and see me singing classically, it would be easier to say, well, that's all she does and I don't want to learn classical. So, yes, there's a caveat on that one. Another thing that you can do is actually go for a chat with the singing teacher before you start. See if you like their vibe. And I have students interviewing me. They come in with their parents and sometimes they choose to stay with me and sometimes they don't. And that's absolutely fine because there are many great singing teachers out there and it's really important you find a singing teacher that suits you. Finding a singing teacher and feeling comfortable with them is really, really important. If you feel uncomfortable after a few lessons with your singing teacher, if you still feel nervous, it's not a good sign. Do give it a little bit of time, but you will progress faster if you're comfortable with your singing teacher. Because what singing is about is it's very revealing. We're revealing a part of our body, actually, and then we're putting it up there for judgment, including in the singing lesson. So it's really important to feel comfortable and feel safe, psychologically safe. Now, I have had, in my experience, some people come to a singing lesson with me, and this was actually when I was working for an academy, and it was a contemporary academy, and I've had students turning up for a singing lesson, and they have on their phone an AI application which teaches someone how to sing. And I watch with horror during the lesson as they use that application to judge whether they're flat or sharp instead of actually relying on me to listen. And of course, a human being's going to be so much faster. And to be honest, the AI application wasn't right anyway. So the question is, do I go to a real singing teacher, a human being, or AI? I would say 100% a human being. Please, a human being. At this stage, that is where your singing belongs. So, I wish you well for your 2026 journey. If you have put on your New Year's list, I want to start singing in 2026. These were a few ideas of how to start singing. Again, what a singing teacher will do for you, someone that you can go to in your local area, is that singing teacher will then introduce you to people that you can sing with, musicians you can sing with, in groups, choirs, or open mic nights, busking opportunities. They may assist you with your busking journey, which is a great start with singing in public. Because, of course, it's great to sing in a room, it's great to sing in our house, but ultimately it's wonderful to share our voices with other people. So, yes, I wish you well. Good luck.